All right, guys, welcome back. And you might notice that we are not in the studio today. We're actually in the training center, in the pour room inside of the training center. We're in the middle of a remodel, so it's been a lot of long days trying to get this remodel going. We've got one of our franchisees that was needing to look at a certain color combination with one of our techniques that we teach. So we just thought that we would go ahead and put together a quick video. It's just more content and just show you all. It's a technique that you've seen in other videos. It's just a certain color combination. So we're gonna get started. This is gonna be our marble technique. We're gonna use primarily our hands, and for this one, we're going to use white liquid pigment, black liquid pigment, guava metallic pigment, and gunmetal metallic pigment. So it'll be a nice, pretty cool color. Now with this, I don't want to be perfectly even. I want some areas to have heavier white than others, and really I kind of want all the colors that way. I want a little bit of each color pretty much everywhere, but I want some big heavy spots of it too. Okay. So now we're going to save our black for last. This is our gunmetal metallic. And there's really no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting the heavier spots or why I'm putting the heavier spots where I am. I just want it to be random. The more random you can make this, the better your results are going to be when it's all said and done. This is our guava metallic. Guava is one of those colors that, depending on what you put it with, really changes a lot. Like right here, as I'm putting it down, it looks very taupey. But with other colors, when you put it down, it gets really light, almost silver looking. So it really just kind of depends on what you're putting it with. But it's a very, very nice color. It goes good with a lot of different things. And last but not least, we're going to do some black. Now we're going to be careful not to go too crazy with heavy spots with the black, because it will dominate so easily if we go too crazy with it. So I've put a few heavy spots, and then I'm going to do a little bit more of a drizzle everywhere else. Black, as you hear me say in a lot of our videos, the black just really reacts good with just about every color. So I just like to have a little bit of it everywhere, and it just creates really nice, rich looking color pretty much everywhere. Okay, so now we've got our colors on our board. We're just going to take our hand. Now kind of the trick to making this look the best is not overworking this. So you can see that when I poured this out, I poured it in a direction. I'm kind of going at it's not a 45, but I'm going at an angle like from corner to corner. That's just, when I'm doing sample boards, it's the best way for me to get the most effect and the most style and design out of a small piece. So whatever direction you're wanting the flow of the marbleization or the grain to go, that's how you want to pour your colors out. And just keep that in mind when you're moving your hand. I want everything to have a general flow of this way, but I don't want it to be perfectly straight. I'm going to kind of vary the way that I move my hand. I don't want it to be perfectly straight. I'm not trying to create a wood look here, anything like that. I just want it to be really, really random, okay? And you don't want to overwork this too much. We're going to use the flat part of our fingers, and we're just going to start kind of shoving this product around. You're going to see me take some longer strokes and some shorter strokes, just trying to make it as random and natural looking as I can. Now you can see I haven't run my hands through it very much, and we're getting some really nice color definition between the colors of this piece. And I really want to try to maintain that. Okay, if I run my hands through it 30 times, I'm going to lose a lot of that definition. With that being said, I've got a dry spot right there. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to kind of touch that, get that filled in. Got another one here. I'm going to get that filled in. But I really want to avoid going too crazy as far as how many times I run my hands through this piece, because I know I've got two liquids, two metallics. If I don't run my hands through this too much, I'm gonna get some really nice color separation. Once I hit this with isopropyl alcohol, it's just gonna look gorgeous. Now the one thing that I would run my hands back through is if in my dispersion here, if anything looked too man-made, like right now, I've got a really nice looking area here and here. There's nothing that looks like drips coming off my hands. There's no strings coming from this side to that side. Everything flows pretty nicely. So at this point, if I don't see any of those errors, I'm gonna kind of leave this alone. Just watch it for a few minutes before. I don't have to be in a big hurry. This particular technique is so fast. It's very reliant on your pigments and your ability to have multiple types of pigment in each piece. So we're going to kind of watch it, make sure nothing starts standing out at me that I don't like, which everything's looking really pretty daggone good right now. This color combination is actually going to be really nice together. The guava is going to make a big difference in this piece. It's just going to keep it from being just gray. The guava adds that little bit of taupe, and it's going to make it look nice. So come on in here a little bit closer, Chris. I just kind of want them to kind of see what I'm talking about. Like, everything's not perfect, but I don't have any like big U shapes. I don't have any strings coming off my hands. There's nothing in this piece right now that I see that's going to cause me a problem if I hit it with isopropyl. So the least amount of times you can run your hands through it and get the board or the countertop covered, the better results you're going to have once you hit it with your isopropyl, as far as just these crazy cool, like somehow or another we got this little streak of black right here. So when this is all said and done, this is just going to look really cool right here. So this is what we do for a lot of our franchisees. When we have a recipe page, if you become a franchisee for Counterintelligence, we have a lot of resources as far as different things that you can make. But when you need little tweaks, a lot of times I'll just do a sample and make a video so you can actually have a full tutorial. But for this technique, you could add some spray paints in here if you wanted to prior to hitting it with the isopropyl. But with this technique, typically you don't need to, because there's so much movement and so much going on in here. Usually it looks best just to kind of leave it. I know this seems super simple. I know it seems like you should be doing more work than what we just did, but for this technique, less is more, okay? So now we're gonna let this isopropyl evaporate for just a couple of minutes. I'm actually seeing one little spot now that I've sprayed it with isopropyl that I'm not loving. It's just a real heavy spot of just guava, and it looks out of place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of my drippings that's got the other colors in there, and I'm just going to kind of make it look like everything else. Hit it with just a little bit, and now it just blends perfectly away like it was never there. A lot of you are probably watching this video and wondering to yourself, like, man, that's an awful short video. I could make these things as complex and complicated as you want to, but here at Counterintelligence, our goal is to train people on how to make beautiful countertops that look like real marble, that are repeatable, and you will have a happy customer every single time. I don't like to teach techniques that require timing. I don't like to teach techniques that require you getting out a heat gun. I like to teach techniques that you can just apply, finish, and move on to the next piece. I don't want to have to spend an hour on this one piece. I want to be able to get these down. And you will have a very hard time when this is done finding any other epoxy guy that is going to be able to make you a piece of countertop that looks like a marble of this color that looks any better than this one. And we're going to be able to repeat it. We're going to be able to do it really fast. We're going to teach you how to make some money. So with that being said, if you guys have any color combinations that you would love to see, If you've seen other videos of other techniques and you want to see some combinations of different colors, or maybe a combination of put this technique with that technique, please engage us in the comments. We would love to hear from you guys, see what you would like to see. You guys can help us grow our channel, because we really just kind of want to get the word out to the world on how cool epoxy is, how much fun it can be, and how awesome it is to make a living doing epoxy. So as always, we'll see you on the next one.